Good morning. So I didn't know if I um, had told you this or not. So when I log in, it brings me here to the home page. And since yours was the last tree I was looking at, this is it. And we'll show you the recent activity. And it'll say there's 57 people in the tree. There's 5 photos, people with hints, the home person, which is you, and the last viewed person. And then you can go to this tree. So that's where I've been. Now, if I am here and I'm like, oh, whoa, what in the heck was I doing? Then I can just go right here and hit the home button and it will bring me back to you. So I found a couple of branches yesterday. And sorry, I'm swiveling in my swivel chair, so I'll try and sit still. So hold on, let's see. So this is, of course, your mom's side. I can't do much until you add more because they're living, so you can't see living people and I don't know their information. So anyway, clicked on your dad, right? It says father here. And I don't know if you saw, this is your grandma Louise. I'm guessing that your middle name is after Louise. Did you know that's Katie's middle name too? Isn't that fun? Anyway, this was very interesting for me. I'm sure that you had just as much fun as I did. So this is your grandma, Louise. And I was really curious about her because I found her in this 1940 census. I don't know if you saw it. Did you see how I looked at that? I was wondering, oh yeah, look at these sources. So if you ever have a question and you're like, I wonder how Amanda knew that the residence was here, that they lived here. I mean, that's just random. If you come over here and click on it, these little lines will show you this. All of this stuff will be found in this record. That's pretty cool. The birth index doesn't do the same thing because it wasn't, it's not provided from Ancestry. Anyway, if you ever have any questions if there's any pictures, you go to the gallery, and that is where the pictures of the sources are. Other pictures as well, but so this 1940 census I was telling you about, oh my word. So this is the family. This is your grandma Louise. Look at that, okay? But look at this whole family. Do you remember me telling you about the 3 widows? That was interesting. This is even more interesting. So I had to look at this because before I got this far, I had not known about grandma, not grandma, sorry. I had not known, yes, Grandma Louise. I don't know her dad's first name. I don't know if you do or not, but I did not. But you did have your great grandma Winifred. You had her information. So that's how I knew that when you had Winifred Irene Williams, because in some of these, sources, it had Louise's mom's name. I don't know if you remember that or not. Maybe it was in the birth index. I can view that record. And mother's maiden name, Williams. And we can look here and see how they came up with it and the associated facts. So if we wanted to, we could add those to our tree. They're already added though. And then the media, of course, is the picture, and there's no picture. Anyway, that is how I think that we came up with that. Anyway, so Winifred Irene Williams, she's the one that in the 1940 census, we knew that Louise Feltus, this is grandma, correct? Well, is there a Winifred in the tree? I was like, right here, Winifred Williams. So, we knew that was her. Winifred's name was Winifred Williams. And how is she related to the house? She's the stepdaughter. Now, if looking at this screen is too confusing, then we can look at the there's another form of there's another way to look at it. This way, see? So this shows us, with that, if the other one is too confusing, Louise was 5 in 1935 is her estimated birth year. She's a female. She's black. She was born in California. Related to head of house step-granddaughter. So that means there are at least 3 generations in this house. Her home was this place. And there's a map and a street and a house address, right? This is where it gets pretty cool. Okay. Name. Here she is right here. Louise. She's 5. So let's look at these ages and the names. Wilma and William Bellamy. They're the oldest, so we know they're the head of the house. And then there's the Williams, right? Richard, Winifred, Dorothy, Mildred, Vera. Holy cow, okay? Do you see their ages here? And then it goes back to Bellamy. William and Benjamin and William Robert and Ruby. Then there's Grandma Louise. Then there's Edward Tillman. No idea. Then there's James and Lawrence Bellamy again. And then there's Doris and Dorothy and then Henry. So they're by age order. This was a fun puzzle to put together. And what it ended up being is that I knew Grandma Louise, and I knew Grandma Louise's mom was Winifred, correct? Well, that just goes to show that Winifred, if she's the stepdaughter of William, then Wilma is her mom. So Wilma was married previously to a Williams, and her first marriage kids are Richard, Winifred, Dorothy, Mildred, and Vera. I was like, oh, right? And then Wilma married William, and they had William G. and Benjamin, and William Robert, and Ruby, and James, and Lawrence, and Henry. So Wilma's all of these kids except the grandkids, which are, they'll show you when we look at the census the other way. So then we know that Feltus, Louise, and Doris and Dorothy are sisters. And so Henry, of course, we know is a Bellamy. That leaves this Tillman is the son of one of the sisters, Dorothy, Mildred, probably not Vera, probably Dorothy. But wasn't that just wild? I was very. So then take that and we want to look. And so it says Edward Tillman is a step grandson. So we know that he is. The weird thing is it has all of them listed as single. I mean, that's not weird, but it is weird. So Louise, see how it has them listed by name? They're listed by family. So Louise and Doris and Dorothy. This is their last name. They're step-granddaughters. Williams, Richard, Winifred, Dorothy, Mildred, and Vera. They're stepsons and stepdaughters to the head of the house. Anyway, I thought that was so neat. You can also go to the... Now, sorry, Louise was not born in the 1930 census, but Winifred was. So I went to Winifred and clicked on her just because I was interested. Now, it took me a little while to find her dad, Napoleon Williams. He died in 1934. So that makes sense that Winifred remarried and then had those other kids. No, sorry. Winifred's mom remarried and had those other kids. So, Winifred is Louise's mom. And so if we want to go to the 1930 census, we can view that. And Winifred, who is Louise's mom, was 13 here. She was single. They lived in the same home, same city. And it tells us that Napoleon was over 20 years older than Willa. And then there's Richard and Winifred and Dorothy. Oh, look, Thelma. Where is Thelma? Thelma was not in the 1940 census. I found her. She's married and lives somewhere else. But sometimes when they're younger, they don't make it. So I was happy to find her. Anyway, and then there's Mildred right there and Vera. So that was pretty neat. But then I was able to see if I go here, view and tree. I was able to go back even a little bit further with Winifred because we know that there's Napoleon here. And then, of course, Willa May. Willa May, man, she's my new hero because here are her two families. Napoleon. So Willa May says she's your second great grandma. She's Winifred's mom and Louise's grandma. And your dad's great grandma, right? So here's Napoleon and their kids here. First marriage, second marriage is Bellamy and I didn't put Raymond as gender, but anyway, and they're all 37, 38, 35, 34, 33, 31. Anyway, 16, 17, 19, 21. Yeah, she's my hero. So she was amazing, it looks like. She had a house full. So anyway, just looking at her hints, it just shows us when she was born, when she dies. These indexes, they are a lot more reliable than other things. But anyway, I was just wanting to show you that. So then I got back this far and I had Willa May, of course, her name I had it as Williams and Bellamy, but I didn't have it. I did not have a maiden name. So I went to, these are marriage records or marriage, marriage records or Social Security applications, things like that. They will have last names of parents. So look at this. Here's a Social Security application for Willa May Bellamy. We know who she is, her birthday and her death date. And then her father was William Wright and her mother was Emma Dearhart. There's another step back. That is amazing. And there's also her Social Security number. Then you would need this information if you wanted. You can actually order this application, or you can use this information and order like a birth certificate if you needed to know like her parents' information. Anyway, I just thought that is pretty cool to know that now we have another branch back on the tree. So here's, I went to bed at this time. So there's Emma, and Emma has 10 hints. So they're censuses. And you probably have noticed by now that the information is not always correct. So Emma, so Willie Maud Wright, we know that this is Willa May, right? Anyway, Victor Hardin, I'm not sure. So let's say I look at this and I go, I wonder if this is actually one of her children. So, of course, we can come here and it says Emma Wright and Victor Hardin. Just a minute. I've never seen Victor, so I am not exactly sure.
It doesn't work.
Okay, hold on, buddy. So I want to click on here, and I'll even click on Victor to see who he is. and it will tell me how is he related. He's related to her by son, her son. So if I haven't seen that, I could look into that because I haven't seen her with that last name before. So it might be somebody else. Now, I am going to let this sink in, and I will be back later.